Hello and welcome to the Full Potential Living podcast. It is your host, Eric Ferguson. Welcome to the podcast today, where I'm on my journey to express and live my full potential life, and how I aim to help you do the same, whatever that looks like to you. Right now, I'm doing a 30-day challenge, so stay tuned every day. 7 a.m. Eastern in the United States, I'll be releasing for the next 30 days a podcast, a video podcast to help you start your day with wisdom, knowledge, and authenticity to help you activate your full potential life. All right. So let's get into the topic today. Why are you here? Why should you listen? Well, you may have found yourself with great power at times in your life, but maybe you didn't necessarily treat others with great respect or compassion. None of us are perfect. Maybe that was you, maybe it wasn't. Or maybe you found yourself on the other side. Maybe you felt like you were so loving and caring for others, but you kept getting used or boundaries violated, people interrupting you or bothering you, and it felt too difficult because of the circumstance or because of the type of person you were dealing with. It felt too difficult to speak up and say what you needed to say. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about why the combination of being both powerful and loving is so vital to live your full potential life. How you can be the most powerful version of yourself and the most loving. And why that's so important, I'm going to talk to you today about the 10 aspects of negative power. And then I'm going to tell you the exact opposite, the 10 aspects of positive power. After that, I want you to come away with some type of takeaway. So I'm going to ask you one of two questions and see where you lie on the spectrum of either powerful, overly powerful, or overly loving, and where you might help yourself strengthen one side so that you are both powerful and loving so that you can live your full potential life. That is my aim today, guys. And I am so happy to be here with you. This is day 4 of this challenge. It's been awesome, guys. Just getting things started. I had some fun yesterday and very passionate yesterday. If you listened, I appreciate you guys. If you do like this video, if you do watch this video, if you're on with this challenge, use this for you, for like starting a habit every day, for the next 30 days. What habit do you want to put yourself into that you want to do and just totally commit to it? No matter what, you just get it done. And that's what I'm doing right now, hoping to help inspire you to do the same. So let's get into the topic a little bit. And people that have demonstrated this type of power and love combination are really interesting people. And this is a part of living a full potential life. This is full potential living, is this combination. These 5 people, which you know very well, or you have known from history, really demonstrate the power and the love aspect. Number 1, of course, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy. And I just have to shout out on this one for my grandfather. My grandfather, Alan Ferguson, worked in the John F. Kennedy administration before he was assassinated. Worked in economics. Anyway, I love you, Grandpa. Thank you for the life you've given me and for everything you fought for. And I can definitely say my grandfather, he wasn't necessarily perfect, right? But he definitely stood for love and power. He, called it justice, right? You could call it justice. I had to shout that out. Appreciate that. Mahatma Gandhi, number 4, and Nelson Mandela. All these individuals have really stepped up into their power and saying, I'm ready to stand for something. I believe in this. I'm going to stand up. But they've also been compassionate. They've also been helping others. They've also been empathetic. And they've had both of these. Or let's move next to this MLK quote that you've probably heard before, but I'm going to say it again. It's really, really powerful. I have it on my wall. So powerful, it's on my wall. Thank you, Sherry, so much. Coach Sherry, you're an amazing coach. Shout out to Sherry for sending me this wonderful gift, because she knows how important it is to me. You're an amazing coach, by the way. Power without love is reckless and abusive. And love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love, implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is power, protecting everything that stands against love. That's MLK quote. I love the dichotomy and the combination of what Martin Luther King was saying here. The combination of power and love, and this really rung true for me. So let's first talk about the negative aspects of power and then the opposite positive aspects. So when we're talking about the negative aspects of power, here's the top 10 negative aspects of power. 1, corruption. Power can lead individuals to engage in corrupt practices. We know this, right? Governments at times, people, kings, back in the 1600s, right? Societies, favoritism, and misuse of resources, corruption. Yeah, not a good thing. Let's stand up against that. Abuse of authority. Power can be used to exert control over others in harmful and unethical ways, losing ethics, leading to oppression, exploitation, and discrimination. Number 3, arrogance. We know that one. Some individuals can become overly arrogant, and essentially they have zero ability to improve themselves by accepting or getting some constructive criticism. They're not able to improve or help others. They have that arrogance. Isolation. I know people like this that isolate themselves. I've been there before, where I've isolated myself because I only wanted to be around a certain type of people. Right? Isolating themselves may become less empathetic towards others, prioritizing their own interest or the interests of their group above those of others. So isolation, distancing themselves from all other people, connections, and even supporting and being around certain types of people, right? Number 5, loss of empathy. Powerful individuals may become less empathetic towards others, prioritizing their own interests or the interests of their group above those of others. Number 6, neglect of responsibility, not taking responsibility especially for the faults and for the times where they've harmed or damaged others, negative aspects of power. Number 7, resistance to change, not realizing that everything always changes and that's a law of the universe. But powerful individuals may resist change or innovation that threatens their position or status quo. Large corporations or governments or even just people could be here. Right? These are the negative aspects of power. 8, revenge. Revenge, I like to say, is the absence of forgiveness. Revenge is the absence of not forgiveness just for other people, but forgiveness for ourselves. Revenge is the absence of forgiveness for ourselves. Number 9, hubris, pride, excessively prideful in who you are and what you stand for, and nobody else is as good as you. That's lacking the ability to understand that we are all one. I can't say that I've never been there. There's times where I've felt overly prideful. We're all human. And number 10, loss of integrity, living life a pursuit of power without having integrity and morals. So these These 10 aspects of power, they highlight the importance of using power responsibly and ethically, as well as the need for accountability and checks on power, right? That's the reason we got away from kings. This is what George Washington wanted to start for our country, did he not? In the United States? And I'm sure all my friends around the world too. Isn't this important to you? You let me know. Now, on the flip side, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we've talked about that. How about the positive aspects of power? On the flip side, influence. Power enables individuals to influence others and make meaningful changes in their organizations, communities, and societies. Leadership. With power comes the ability and the opportunity to lead and inspire others towards common goals, common visions, connecting people. Impact. Powerful individuals have the ability to affect positive change on a large scale, whether it's through policy decisions, charitable initiatives, or social movements. Impact. Impacting other people's lives. That's number 3, right? Positive impact. Wow, my life's getting better because this individual is helping me, or he's enlightening me, or bringing wisdom, knowledge, whatever. Impact. Number 4, out of top 10 reasons or top 10 aspects of positive power, right? Aspects of power. Number 4 is resource allocation. Power allows individuals to allocate resources such as funding, personnel, or infrastructure towards projects or causes that benefit others. Whatever the case may be, resources that we're able to allocate in a positive way. Number 5, problem solving. When you're in a position of power, you have the ability to solve problems on a larger scale. You have the ability to address complex problems or challenges effectively with more power, more resources to make those problems solved, right? Number 6, empowerment. Power can be used to empower others by providing opportunities for education, for growth, development, and self-expression. Being the fullest version of yourself. Number 7, advocacy. Powerful individuals can advocate for marginalized groups or social justice causes, amplifying their voices and driving meaningful change. And not to mention, advocating for yourself in situations where you need to put up a boundary. Advocacy in the right situations. Number 8, innovation. Power fosters an environment conducive for innovation, creativity. I don't necessarily read the Bible, but I know that in the Bible, it does say that we were made to create. We were born to create things, not just be a cog in a wheel. We were born to create. Every single one of us was born to create our lives, create things, manifest things. Innovation's number 8. Number 9, networking. Powerful individuals often have access to extensive networks and resources. They have a network of people they can get help from in order to collaborate, create partnerships, and make the world a better place through their network. Number 10, inspiration. Power can inspire others, serving as a role model for aspiring leaders and change makers. Inspiration is a natural form of joy passed from one's insides, one's soul, you might say, to another. Inspiration, inspire, inspirare, right? From the inside out. Those are the aspects, the negative aspects of power and the positive aspects of power. Now, I want you to think about this for you. Maybe go and write some of those down if you wish to go back and listen to that. But moving on, I want you to listen to this. Here might be one of your takeaways. So, what side do you fall on the most? Because we all know we aren't perfect. Nobody's powerful and loving 100% of the time. We are human and we all make mistakes, right? I make mistakes. I have my ups and downs, right? We all do, of course. Kidding me? Please, don't think anybody's perfect, no matter who they are. We all have struggles, challenges, and imperfections. It's part of being human. But what side do you fall on the most? Do you find yourself at times noticing you're more greedy or more reckless, maybe even abusive to yourself, your loved ones, verbally, people you work with, or even strangers? And how can you improve that? Is there ever any times where you feel that? Maybe you're not murdering anybody, but are there times where you find yourself maybe a little more greedy at work, maybe a little more reckless with some things you say to other people, close relationships, abusive to yourself, instead of being more compassionate and filling up your own cup? So, how can you improve that if that's you? And if that's not, just wait a minute, I'm going to get to you on the other side. But if that's you, I've been on both sides. If that's you, how can you improve that? If that sounds like you, well, the best character trait or traits for you to practice might be, and I would encourage you to just look into these character traits and start to practice them and literally write them down on a sticky note. I have sticky notes all back here. Like, what are my 3 words that I am constantly being? Even when family members, people anger me, how can I show up as those 3 words? For me, it's charismatic, inspiring, and compassionate. Compassionate. Yo, those times where you're getting angry, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, okay, I don't know why this is triggering me. It's okay. All right, I feel a little anger. That's fine. I accept you, anger. I hear you. Let's bring a little compassion, though. Compassion is me, right? More compassion. I would encourage you to practice more compassion, more empathy, and forgiveness. And check this: forgiveness is not just to forgive other people. Really, forgiveness is not about others. Forgiveness is about you. Forgiveness is about letting go of that anger and that frustration and that thing you have inside, that emotional tension you're holding in your body and your mind, that reoccurring thought, and letting it go, being like that. Like, I don't need that anymore. I appreciate you coming up, emotion. Thank you for helping me set this boundary, but I'm going to forgive this person, not for them, but I'm going to forgive them for me. If that's you, if that resonates, drop a comment. Drop a comment, like this video, subscribe if you're on YouTube, drop a 5-star review if you're on Spotify, if this resonates with you. All right. So if that's you, if you find yourself more on the greedy, reckless, or abusive to yourself, loved ones, even if it's in a minor way, start to practice more compassion, empathy, and forgiveness for yourself. And in turn, you'll be forgiving others. Okay, let's talk about the other side as we wrap up this podcast today. Or do you find yourself on the weak side? As Martin Luther King said, the anemic side, the overly sentimental side. If so, how can you set better boundaries from others? And especially your loved ones, especially those people you love. You know what I'm talking about. How can you set better boundaries from others? Think about that. How can you be more powerful in your voice, more confident? How can you step more into your power, guys? If you're on that overly weak, kind of overly weak side, without stepping into your power, without being truthful, without being direct, how can you come more to the power? How can you fulfill your bucket with more power? I've been on both sides, so I can understand and appreciate you, brother, sister, whoever's listening on either side. I acknowledge you, the one listening, my brother, sister, full potential living, amazing individual. Okay? So be more powerful in your voice, more confident. Stand up. Stand up. Let's go. It's that healthy balance, because I don't really like balance, but it's that healthy combination, let's say. And then self-empowerment is the last piece. Think about to yourself this question here. Are you making sure you fill your cup first to the brim? Are you filling your cup to the brim? To the fucking brim. Like, give to yourself the mostest before you give to others everything you have. Are you filling your cup to the brim before you give others everything you have? Because if you're not, you're just giving others an empty cup of nothing that doesn't help them either, right? How can you stand up for what you truly believe in, no matter what other people think of you? How can you be authentic in standing in your power? That's for those people that might find themselves on that overly weak or sentimental or anemic side. So the number one character trait for you, if you're on that side, I encourage you to cultivate courage, bravery. Have that courage and bravery to stand up. Step up for yourself. You can do it in a way where other people understand. You can communicate in a way where you go, hey, man, hey, woman, hey, whatever. This is how I feel. I don't feel good about this. These are the things that I feel. I'm telling you how I feel. And I feel violated for this, this, and that. I feel like this is crossing a boundary. Because when you can do that and step up with the courage, that person's not going to do it anymore. The way that you are treated is by the way you allow other people to treat you. So take responsibility. Step up. Don't allow people to step on you. Make sure you have that combination of power and love. Whew. If that hit home for you in any way, whether you're on the overly power side or overly weak, anemic love side, let me know in the comments. Let the world know how you feel. Step up, have either more courage, more compassion, empathy, forgiveness, or both. Have the combination. And tell me, do you believe in the idea of power and love? Do you believe in it? Does it resonate with you? Yes or no? Does that and what's your take on it? And I'm going to wrap up the video today. Oh, and I want to thank you guys so much. And stay tuned every day at 7 a.m. Eastern time for this 30-day challenge to start your day right with some wisdom, knowledge, and authenticity as I talk about what full potential living is and I express it to the world. And so you can find your version of a full potential life, whatever that is to you. Because remember, if I haven't said this before, I want to make sure you hear this. Living a full potential life is for everyone because you have the greatness within. It's already within you. Uncover your greatness that lies within you. Sit with that. It's already there. You have God, the universe, everything's within inside of you. You have the power to step into your full potential today. And if this resonated with you, please remember to tap the like button, tap it, touch it, push it, smash it, subscribe on YouTube, leave a 5-star review on Spotify, and share this with one person that these words might help today. I love you all. Remember, do not settle. Full potential or nothing. That's going to do it for this episode. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Peace out.